This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
You know who I can do without? I can do without the people in the video store.
Which ones?
All of them.
This is Massive Late Fee with Mike and Mark.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me as always is my co-host Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Not too bad. How about you?
Good. We've had a good week here, adding more and more programs to the network. A bunch of other stuff that I always say when we start the show. We talk about Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and a bunch of other stuff.
Not YouTube Prime though.
No, we're not on that yet.
I'm not paying money to watch Cobra Kai season 2. Sorry.
Yeah, I have other ways that I can watch it, like going to my friend's house, let's say, who also has Prime.
Yes.
So, the news today, as you guys know, the only section that we do for you, although there is some stuff for us in here too. But Ted and Bill, or Bill and Ted, I guess, if you want to be canonical, has started filming. There's I've seen some pictures of them filming the movie. You know, these things come out all the time now. Photos of them on the set filming, and it's just.
Wait, are you saying you got photos of the crew filming the movie?
Well,
that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, it's pictures of the actors just like standing around. I mean, there's some crew behind them. But it's like, okay, I've seen a picture of Keanu Reeves before.
Yep.
I never get these photo things. The one Alex Winter did post a picture of himself on Twitter with a shirt that says Wild Stallions on the back. So I mean, I guess that's cool.
I mean, it's good to for him to have a picture of himself current out there just so they stop the search because people thought he's been missing for 30 years.
Yeah, no kidding. Poor Alex Winter. I think he's been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, if I remember correctly.
He's done documentaries and stuff. I was just being silly over here.
None of that on this show. We're never silly. But anyway, so have you heard about this? This is for the people, because I'll tell you how much I don't give a shit about this. For Amazon Prime Day, apparently, they're having a concert with Taylor Swift for Amazon Prime Day. Yeah, that's sort of my reaction as well. First of all, Amazon Prime Day, okay, fine. A bunch of sales in the middle of July. But a concert, it's so weird. Apparently,
yeah, I don't know. Is it live streamed on Amazon or something like that?
I'm guessing, yeah, that it's going to be on Amazon Prime. I guess I should have read the story before I decided to report on it. But yeah, it's going to be streamed on Amazon, the Prime app, and it's being hosted by Jane Lynch, who apparently will do anything for a paycheck nowadays.
Yeah, I guess.
With that,
she'd probably do a 40-year-old version series based on her as the main character.
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever seen that game show that she hosts?
I saw she hosted a game show. I don't know what it is though.
It's painfully awful. It's like, I don't know, celebrities partnering with real people and playing categories or something.
Huh. They have like a lot of those like weird like revised like TV shows. Like I don't know. I saw something with that Joey Fatone guy was hosting some show, and it was a really bad show, and he's not a good host either.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one that is. I know that
it's I don't know. It's not like a game show. I think it's a Game Show Network original, so it's like going to be terrible to begin with.
Okay, I know that Alec Baldwin's hosting a revival of the Match Game.
Huh.
One of my favorite 70s game shows, but that show is so 70s. It doesn't work in any other decade.
I think, too, a big issue is you won't find people who are as witty as the people who were on that show. Like, modern-day actors don't strike me as being, like, clever as, the great Charles Nelson Riley or, Richard Dawson or, Betty White even.
Yeah. No, I agree too. Brett Summers as well.
Yeah, that's her name. I couldn't remember it.
Apparently, at this concert, there's going to be Dua Lipa. I don't know who that is. Somebody named SZA, Za, like pizza, and Becky G.
What?
I don't know. It makes me feel incredibly old. I don't know any of who these people are.
I feel that if you average out the talent at this, concert, like if you took Taylor Swift and add all these other people, and then divided it, by the number of people that you're including, the number would be very low as to how actually, famous the people are.
Exactly. I mean, they might as well go into meme making and start making shows about Little Bub.
I think he's dead, actually.
Aw, poor
No,
Little
I think this happened like a year or two ago, and I saw like a thing about Little Bub. Like, I'm pretty sure the cat's dead, but I didn't want to comment and ruin everybody's day. That's the sad thing is, it would.
Yeah, it really would.
You'd have a couple of people slitting their fucking wrists open over that news.
MSN Entertainment, so Microsoft News, they've ranked the 50 best TV shows of all time, at least according to critics.
Can I guess the top 5?
Yeah, that's good. We should. I just want to point out that one of my wife's favorites, My So-Called Life, is number 50. I watched a little bit of My So-Called Life, but it had one season. How can it be in the top 50 of the greatest shows of all time?
Apparently, a lot of critics are 38-year-old women.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, you know what? Too, I've got. You can guess the top 5. You might be surprised by the top 5.
I'm guessing it'll just be the most obvious ones. Do you have them in?
Yeah, I got them in order.
All right, I'm guessing MASH is on there.
Let's see. MASH is not on there.
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld is not on there.
Oh yeah, I am surprised so far. The Sopranos.
Nope. The Sopranos is down in the teens.
Yeah, I Breaking Bad should be on there, but I don't know that it will.
Breaking Bad is number 5.
Yeah, this is a bad list.
Yep, agreed.
Because, in my opinion, The Wire and Breaking Bad are easily, with no question, in the top 5. Is The Wire even on there?
No, The Wire is like number 25.
Yeah, this list is terrible.
The Larry Sanders Show is number 4. Which, The Larry Sanders Show is funny.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it.
I don't know if I'd put it in the top 5, but it's fine. Murder 1 is number 3.
What the hell is Murder 1?
I have no idea.
Wait, what? This is from the American version of People, or MSN, or whatever?
Yep. I think they're basing it off Metacritic scores. That's what they're doing. They're just basing it off Metacritic scores, and like all the top ones have 99 out of 100. So like Breaking Bad's number 5, but it's 99 out of 100.
That's dumb.
So they're all the top 5 are 99 out of 100. The number 1 show is Rectify.
I don't even know what that is.
Me either. So I guess, I don't know, hard to say if it's number 1 or not, but I'm going to say no, because Breaking Bad is, and from everything I've heard, not only from you, but from other people, The Wire should absolutely be up there as well.
Yeah, The Wire is great. Rectify seems like the theme song would be sung by Becky G.
Yeah, I'm guessing
that's
true.
That's her encore every night.
Right.
Theme from Rectified.
So the last bit of news that I have is some sad news. Max Wright, the dad from Alf, Mr. Tanner, I think that was his name, right?
I don't think so. I think that's Full House. Was it also on Alf?
I think so. Yeah, Willie Tanner. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. That's weird.
Anyway, he died. Apparently.
Well, he's dead.
Apparently, after a long battle with cancer. That's according to his daughter, I think it was something else. But he was 70.
Wow.
He was 75.
What's messed up is you could be right.
Yeah, I know that's the thing, because as you may remember, we talked about on this program, Mr. Tanner here, Max Wright, got in some serious trouble for pictures that appeared in the Inquirer of him having gay sex with a black and white man at the same time and smoking crack. So he lived quite a life.
Hey, this guy knew how to have a good time. We'll say that at the very least.
He was still married to his wife, Linda, for like 50 years or something like that. She died a couple of years ago of cancer, or something. I don't know, something. She died of something a couple of years ago at 72. And yeah, so he was still fully in the closet. Even though he was outed, he stayed married to his wife.
Maybe it was just the crack that made him do that.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. He wasn't really gay. It's just, it was the crack. But
we've all been there.
Yeah, who hasn't gone on a weekend crack bender and had interracial sex?
Yeah, and if one of the guys is black and the other is white, they cancel each other out.
Exactly. So yeah, exactly. It's like pigmentation. It's like mixing colors together. It just becomes clear. So you're really just masturbating at that point.
Yeah, it's like you're just thinking about it.
I found this thread on Reddit from like 5 years ago, and it says Max Wright, the dad from Alf, was gay. I like how they put gay first, like that's the worst part, and a crack cocaine addict. He was taped smoking crack and having sex with gay prostitutes, and according to the National Enquirer, even had unprotected sex with homeless men.
Jeez.
So some of the comments on Reddit, of course, are gold. No wonder why he was so repulsed when Alf would try to eat the cat. Somebody says, and then they get into an argument about this, according to the National Enquirer with a question mark, and someone said, there are photos printed in the Enquirer. And then the person responds, oh, photos, that's different. That makes it all true. By the way, we have been to Mars, and I've also seen pictures of men standing on planets thousands of light years from here. Since there are pictures, then it must be true. And then somebody goes on to explain that Artie Lang and Nikki Cox, two of Max Wright's co-stars from the Norm Show, friend of the show, Norm Macdonald, the show Wright was on after Alf, positively identified him as the person in those photos, which are actually just stills from a VHS tape the Enquirer obtained of Max Wright having sex and smoking crack with homeless male prostitutes. Okay, yeah, I guess they can be homeless, but, if they're prostitutes, I mean, they're gainfully employed anyway.
What do they do with all that money is what I don't know.
Exactly. Buy a house. And it was known at the time that Wright was an addict since he'd gotten several DUIs while employed as an actor on successful primetime TV shows. I mean,
it's so funny that he's such a talent. They need to keep him, employed after all.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's the most generic fucking actor I've ever.
Yeah. And apparently, according to this, on Jay Moore's podcast, Artie Lang, which I didn't even know Jay Moore had a podcast, but
yeah, I've listened to quite a few episodes.
Artie Lang talks about the day of his first appearance on the Howard Stern show was the same day those photos came out, and Howard asked him about it, and Artie, who worked with the guy and saw him every day, acknowledged that it was in fact Max, and said he was surprised because Wright seemed like a normal guy who happened to have videotaped himself blowing a black midget.
Jeez.
I can totally hear Artie Lang saying that, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't speak ill of the dead, but crack is whack. And rest in peace, Max Wright.
Rest in peace. I wouldn't necessarily say just because you're there's a picture taken of you smoking crack that you're a crackhead or an addict.
True. He at least dabbled in crack once.
He dabbled. Yeah. He's a dabbler.
But, he also was forced to star in a TV show where a puppet got all the best lines, so...
Here's our new TV special for the Hallmark Channel, Max's Crazy Weekend.
Oh my god. So, that is the news for today. I don't know. I guess we'll go with educating Mike next. I never know what or care what order we do this in.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I decided to just go with something really strange today. I couldn't really figure out how to tie it into Good Omens, which is what we're talking about. But are you familiar with the director Harmony Korine?
Yeah, I'm a big fan actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I know he did Spring Breakers and some other stuff.
He did the movie Gummo. He did the screenplay for the movie Kids, which he wrote when he was like 17 years old or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then if you want to see some entertainment, look up Harmony Korine on the David Letterman show. There's a bunch of clips, and it's just insanity.
Well, it's funny because apparently you are already educated on this, but Gummo is the movie we're doing.
Okay, yeah, that's an amazing movie.
I have never seen it, so this will be like educating me, I guess.
It's really not like a typical movie, you know. I mean, it's not. You can really even argue that it's like a piece of art put on film. It's a lot of like really disconnected scenes that all take place in it's the city of Xenia, I think, Ohio, which is like historically struck by like a major tornado.
Yeah.
And so there's all these like kids just kind of wandering around, just getting into like the most insane like things. Like there's like a woman that they like who's on life support, and they just like cut the life support for no reason.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's like a really weird like black and white little like film within the film. It's like some weird satanic ritual that takes place with cats that are like dead.
Okay.
This bathtub you've ever seen, and he's like eating toast or something like that, or like someone stapled toast. It's a very odd movie, but it's hard to describe, but it's something that's really interesting. Which and as far as I like movies, interesting is a huge factor, and this is a very interesting movie.
Yeah, well, according to the plot summary here, I mean, it kind of goes through what you just went through. It talks about Tumblr and Solomon, who are hunting feral cats. They bring the cats to the local grocer, who intends to butcher and sell them to a local restaurant. And the grocer tells them that they have a rival in the cat-killing business. Lots of cat killing going on in this movie. Also, a boy...
Well, that's a connection to our previous topic of Elf.
Yeah, exactly. But also a boy with bunny ears and no shirt that just kind of walks around the movie.
Yeah, he's in pretty much... He connects the movie, really.
Chloe Sevigny is in this movie too, right?
I don't think so. She was in Kids. I don't think she's in Gummo. She might be, but I don't believe so.
Let's see. Yeah, she plays Dot.
Okay, I didn't even realize it.
So there's some flirting with a gay dwarf. Also, I guess, ties into Max Wright. A man pimping his Down syndrome afflicted sister. And then encountering an elderly child molester. Basically, the way I found this movie is I looked up weird movies, and this came up. But I am familiar with some of Harmony Korine's work, and I have liked a lot of his movies. So I kind of gravitate towards you too, where I like interesting kind of movies. But the Parents' Guide on this movie is pretty fun. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to select it, even though I had never seen it. So, sex and nudity says moderate. A boy refers to a cat as a lesbian. The cat is later said to be pregnant, which is sex and nudity, I guess.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure how, but apparently that cat wasn't much of a lesbian.
Maybe she went both ways. Like our friend Max Wright.
Right, exactly. We see the bare breasts of two female characters as they put duct tape over their nipples. then pull it off to make their nipples seem larger. They are then both seen jumping on a bed together with a younger girl as well, with duct tape covering only their nipples, but they are still topless. That sounds like a good movie so far.
Yeah.
A character feels up a girl's breast to check if she has lumps. Is that really... Come on. I mean, like, okay. If it's like, he's just using it as an excuse, sure, I guess it can go in this category. But if it's actually medical, come on.
There are people out there who think statues should be censored, so there you go.
Yeah, that is true. A girl describes in voiceover how her father had raped her. Okay, that's pretty graphic. Most of the voiceover is muffled by a disorientating screeching noise when it might be graphic. Yeah, see, like, hearing this stuff, that I like that kind of... I mean, like, obviously I don't like that, I don't like that subject matter necessarily, but I like that stylized quality of it where, it's a voiceover, but there's disorientating, ambient noise underneath it. I can see how that could add to a feel of discomfort, and things like that. I like that kind of stylized stuff.
Right.
Some moderate references. Okay. Violence and gore. There is some footage shown of a destructive tornado. A large animal, possibly a cow, is shown falling from the rooftop to the ground dead. This is supposedly actual footage. Oh, the Parents Guide is calling into question Harmony Korine's credentials, I guess.
Oh.
Two boys shoot down another boy with BB guns. All right. A boy pees from atop an overpass onto passing traffic. That's under profanity.
Yeah.
How is that not under sex and nudity?
I don't know.
Some derogatory phrases aimed at homosexual/lesbian characters and minority characters, including fag, the N-word, and queer. 64 uses of fuck, 16 uses of shit, 13 uses of pussy, 11 of ass, 9 uses of bitch, 6 uses of queer, and asshole. Okay.
So I just like that the people who do these have actual numbers. Like, I just wonder how they get these numbers. Like, do they have to watch it so many times to make sure they get every I mean, do they write down whenever someone says fuck, they check a box and shit, there's another box, or do they watch the whole thing oh, they said fuck 17 times. Let me go back and see how many times they say.
Seriously, you have to have no life to do this.
Or do you get the screenplay and Control F? I mean, that's a lot easier, but it's still really ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. Violence and gore. 2 brothers are featured who are said to have been Jehovah's Witnesses who murdered their parents. That's fair. If your parents raised you as a Jehovah's Witness, that's fair.
I mean, kids have to celebrate Halloween. Come on.
Exactly. No birthdays. But anyway, so that is Gummo. I'm actually gonna check it out. I want to see it.
That's really interesting.
But now we will move on to a regular feature of the show. It's called Keeping Current with Mike. I forgot what it was called for a second.
How dare you?
Where we go and plumb the depths of the internet to find the hottest gossip in today's celebrity culture and try to figure out what the hell they're talking about.
Yes, it's what we do.
Where are we going today, Mike?
I'm not sure if I'm looking at a blog or a magazine.
Okay.
But I know there is a magazine called 17, so I think I'm on their website.
Okay, 17.
But
Sounds
I don't know
good.
if it's I don't know if it's just them reiterating what's in their magazine or if it's a different entity or what. But that's where.
All right, we're at 17.com.
7 facts about Callan Allen that'll make you a stan.
Wait, 7 facts about Callan Allen that'll make you a stan.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. First of all, I don't know who Callan Allen is.
Me either. I know Al Kaline.
I don't think he's going to be in this magazine, unfortunately.
Callan Allen. How are they spelling that? Oh wait, I think I found it.
Kalena. Well, I don't know. Callan Allen.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. I think I know what they mean by stan. I really hate when people say this, but I think they mean that you're gonna be a fan like that song, "Stan" by Eminem. I think people use it that way now.
Yeah, more like an obsessive kind of fan, I think, is really how they use it. Like a crazy kind of obsessed kind of person.
So, Callan Allen doesn't have a Wikipedia, unfortunately. He does have a Twitter account at the Callan Allen if you're looking for him. I work at the kindest place on earth. So he's a Disney person, maybe. At the Ellen Show / Temple Made or hashtag Temple Made hashtag KC Raised IG and Snapchat at the Callan Allen inquiries.
Oh, God.
Inquiries, bookings at thecallanallen.com. So we could inquire to book him. I guess he works on the Ellen Show.
I guess.
I don't know what he does on the Ellen Show, but
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. He's got a YouTube. OMK. I don't know what that means. Oh my Krishna? I don't know. Callan Allen reacts to Apple Twix salad recipe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Apparently, he
I don't
reacts
care
to a
about
lot of things. Unseasoned fried chicken.
Eh.
This is the state of entertainment today. That there's a video of someone reacting to unseasoned fried chicken, and let's see how many views it's got. Can't play any of the audio, so over 500,000 views, almost 600,000 views.
Jeez.
And after our fan base, hears this, I'm sure it will jump up to about 1.5 million. So that's Callan Allen. Does something for Ellen.
Yeah, I don't think I need to know one fact more about him.
Yeah, I'm certainly not going to be a stan.
All right. Now the next headline kind of makes me think this is more like a like the magazine or something.
Okay.
Because it seems like it's like a quiz or something. It's like the best Halloween themed TV episodes you need to rewatch.
Is the episode of Family Matters called Stevel on there?
Oh, I wish, but I don't know. I have to click. There's like two stills. One of them looks like it's like that Stranger Things and they're like dressed as Ghostbusters or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There's an episode where they're dressed as Ghostbusters on Stranger Things.
Oh, an 80s reference. How clever.
Yeah, Stranger Things could just be called Reference, the TV show.
Just call it, you like the 80s, right, Mark?
Exactly. Oh, man. Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know what these are, but I can't really think of any Halloween-themed TV episodes that I really like that.
Yeah, I can't think of any that I'd want to return to necessarily.
I think I have one that you would want to return to, but first, the one I remember very vividly from like when I was really young, it was Hogan's Family.
Okay.
There's like an episode where they turn into zombies, and it really like disturbed me when I was young. I don't know why, but it really just like really bothered me.
I remember that one.
But I think you didn't. Wasn't it a Halloween episode of Quantum Leap where Stephen King guest starred on it?
Well, he didn't guest star in it, but the twist at the end was that Sam had leaped into a young Stephen King.
Right? Wasn't that an episode you liked though?
Yeah, it's a good episode. I mean, I like Quantum Leap in general.
Yeah, but isn't that a Halloween themed episode?
Yeah, that's it takes place on Halloween and it came out around Halloween. Yeah, it was the Halloween episode of that season of Quantum Leap.
So the fact that it was Halloween themed and came out on Halloween made it a Halloween episode, in your opinion?
Yeah, I would call it a Halloween episode.
That's fair.
Oh my god! Or wait, no, he doesn't. He doesn't leap into Stephen King. He leaps into some New England writer, like some hack New England writer. But
Dean Koontz is from New England?
But Stevie is the guy that helps him around the house, and it turns like in the last frame, he his girlfriend's like, "Bye, Mrs. King," and he's like, "Stevie King," and like he had mentioned, like it's so weird too because it's why would he mention any of this stuff? But he mentioned scenes from a few different movies, like Carrie and stuff like that. And
And didn't you say he had a dog named Cujo?
yeah, which is not accurate, but
No.
yeah, a lot of it's not 100% accurate. But that's fine. It was it's a little fun twist, I guess, at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy when the only episode of The Simpsons I'll make it a point to watch are their Treehouse of Terror ones. I guess those are all obviously Halloween themed.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I would watch. I would rewatch some of those early ones. Yeah.
Yeah, even those have been pretty bad lately though. Like I can't remember the most recent one that I really enjoyed.
I'm sure that the one-eyed aliens were part of it.
Right.
They can't get off them.
No. I mean, like you said, some of the earlier ones are really good, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Our next headline again. This makes me think this is more like a blog or something. I don't really know.
Okay.
This influencer tried to use relaxer after bleach, and all caps, her hair fell out on Instagram Live.
Okay. Well, that's
It sounds like a lady
embarrassing.
applying something to her hair. Yeah, first of all, that sounds 100% fake to me because just what are the chances? I mean, you're a quote-unquote influencer, which is another word I just absolutely hate.
Me too.
It's just the dumbest fucking word I've ever heard in my entire life. But I mean, so someone who's like, obviously has like people following them on Instagram to, because they're probably hair tips and that kind of thing, and they don't know that would. I mean, I don't know that, but I don't know anything about hair. I mean, anyone who's seen my hair knows I don't know anything about hair.
Well, I'm guessing that she's black because I know relaxer is something that black people use to uncurl their hair, basically unkink their hair. I guess if
Right, but this lady has like a buzz cut almost. Her hair is like super short.
Oh, so maybe I'm thinking maybe she plans to do this to get more
Yeah,
fame.
so I'm saying. Yeah, I don't see how it couldn't be that she did it on purpose.
Yeah, that's my guess is that it was a deliberate thing that she knew. I guess I don't know much about relaxer. And I've never bleached my hair, so I don't know anything about any of it. But yeah, I guess it could make your hair fall out.
Our next quote-unquote story. These Harry Potter coffee cups will make your Starbucks trip so, all caps, much better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just obviously an advertisement.
So that's news.
Yeah, but I mean, I assume this is tied into the new, Pokemon Go type game. It's like Harry Potter's, I don't know, wizard something or other.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Wizarding World, maybe?
Yeah, I heard about it. My wife told me about it because she likes Harry Potter, but I think she downloaded it and played it for about 5 seconds and was like, "Yeah, I don't care about this."
Yeah, I heard a lot of people say it wasn't as good as the Pokemon Go, which was fun. I played that a little bit. I didn't have a phone that could do it, but my wife did at the time, so we played that a bit. Yeah, I mean, it's probably been already it probably came out way too late. If it had come out around the time or before Pokemon Go, I'm sure it'd be a huge success. But now it just seems like something people have already done.
Yeah, I think people have kind of had their fill with that type of game.
Yeah, at least for now, especially with all that walking.
Exactly. Who wants to do that?
Our next top story: 10 signs Miley Cyrus's quote-unquote mother's daughter unquote is the ultimate feminist and.
Okay, so I'm guessing "Mother's Daughter" is the name of a Miley Cyrus song.
Right.
I don't know any of Miley Cyrus's songs, but
And there's 10 signs in this whole song. I mean, this is how many feminist anthem hints there are in this song.
wow. So it's probably like a 2-minute long song that took a team of 30 to write.
Yes. Like
So-
like I'm sure you've seen the picture that cracks me up every time. It's like Beyonce, "Girls Rule the World" or some song like that. Or it's like you say the same thing over and over, and it's like 5 people. And then next to it are the lyrics to Bohemian Rhapsody. It's just at Freddie Mercury. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I saw a YouTube video one time about why music is so bad now. For the most part, anyway. Like popular music, and it made a lot of sense. They talked
Not
about
space funk.
they talked about how in the old days there was a lot of variety. Like if you listen to, I know you don't like the Beatles that much. I don't know how you feel about the Beach Boys. There's some later Beach Boys songs
they're okay.
that I like. But like if you listen to Pet Sounds, there's like a bunch of different noises, I mean, obviously they use a variety of different instruments, but they also use kind of like everyday items to make music, and a lot of different bands kind of did that back then. There's a variety of different sounds, different chords being used and everything. And now with what they do with computers and autotune and everything gets homogenized and like auditorially compressed into this very narrow range, using a lot of the same chords and a lot of the same stuff. And there's a handful of writers that write all the really popular songs, so there's not much diversity of voice in the popular songs either, in like the the point of view and things like that of popular songs. So that's kind of why everything, all the pop music now kind of sounds the same and very homogenous and things like that. And that's what differentiates it from, older music, or, the few people that are out there now that are still doing things kind of more the traditional way. But it was I wish I could remember what it was called, because it was probably, I don't know, like 40 minutes long, and this guy goes into all these different explanations. He's obviously a musician, and it was really fascinating, and because like I don't like a lot of the popular music now, but I never really had a reason other than like I just don't like it. It doesn't it doesn't suit me. But him going through all this stuff, I was like, yes, that all makes total sense.
Yeah, music's pretty bad for the most part. At least music you hear on the radio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can find some hidden gems out there still, but yeah, all the very popular pop music is shit.
Except for obviously "In the Meantime" by Space Hog.
Exactly. Agreed.
And that's it, because the next headline is the Cheesecake Factory is delivering free slices of Oreo cheesecake for the 4th of July. This is not a legitimate source of information.
Yeah, I think we have to tap out at this point.
I think they're just they're such fucking rubes that they got swindled into publishing an article instead of having an ad for the Cheesecake Factory.
Exactly. Make some money off that. Get some Google AdSense going.
Oh, and in response to the previous story, fuck the whole Cyrus clan as usual.
Yeah, we're not fans. I don't know if she has a brother or a sister or whatever, but they can fuck off too.
Yeah, she has a sister, and I just get annoyed every time I see her.
I'm sure she's trying to be a singer as well.
Something, I don't know.
So, before we get on to the Parents Guide game that we do, whatever we want to call it, I've got a little celebrity diss to do. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not, but do you know who David Harbour is?
He's in Stranger Things, and he played Hellboy?
Yes, correct.
Okay, I know who he is. I've never seen anything with him in it.
Yeah, he was on The Newsroom. He's been in... Well, we kind of get into it a little bit. So I start with the normal greeting. Hello, sir. I represent Massive Late Fee, one of the 5 most listened to podcasts in the world, with Late Fee as part of the name. We would love to have you on the program to talk Stranger Things. Just a quick phone call is all it takes. DM us. No response to that. So then the next day, I sent him a bunch of ones in a row. And I gotta figure this out because, okay, I forgot to tag him in a couple of them, which I get into. And so I had to delete the tweets and retweet them, but they are sort of out of order. So here, I got the order now. David Harbour. We could also talk about your time at Dartmouth. I've never even been to New Hampshire, so that will be fascinating. What's Aubrey Plaza like? Because she's from New Hampshire. And Stranger Things, if there's time. Oh wait, no. Fuck. Okay, I did do it out of order. What's the right order? Well, anyway, so I said that. And then I said better opt for closer to 50 minutes because I gave him an option. Here we go. Just a little phone call, 5 to 50 minutes, your choice, and we can explore your time on The Newsroom, which is one of my all-time favorite shows. Remember when you were injured in the Middle East? Don was so worried. That's from the newsroom. Then I talked about the Dartmouth thing. And then I said Aubrey Plaza was on a recent episode of Hot Ones with Sean Evans. We could talk about that. Or you could be on Hot Ones. How are you with spicy food? Also, Stranger Things Season 3, if you insist. And Sigma Phi Epsilon, of course, brother. And then I kind of felt bad because I said brother. And then, so I said to him a couple of things. One, some of those messages were out of order because I forgot to @ you in them. Two, I realize I may have been misleading by calling you brother in that last message about the fraternity. I've never belonged to a fraternity, and we are not blood relation. David Harbour. I mean, if you want to talk about Stranger Things Season 3, more power to you. But I'm more interested in discussing how you got on Law & Order SVU, and Law & Order Criminal Intent as 3 different characters. What about continuity? Are you a chameleon? I thought that might pique his interest. But again, no response to any of this stuff. So I said, we really do want you on the show, though. Well, I do. I think Mike could take you or leave you. That's not an insult.
That's a fair comment.
That's not an insult. Just how Mike is with most people. Kurt Vonnegut, there's a person he would love on the show, but I'm sure you can't resurrect the dead. Can you do a good Kurt Vonnegut impression, though? I thought maybe we could get him on there as Kurt Vonnegut. Then Josie Lawrence, friend of the show, tweeted out or retweeted somebody named Gemma Aerosmith. I can only assume that that's Steven Tyler's other daughter, who said, my teenage style icons, I did not pull off the look the way they did, trust me. And then there's 2 women that are dressed in male suits, and Josie Lawrence is one of them. And she said, still love a suit. So I said to her, we, Massive Late Fee, still love you. We talk about you on the show often, the only person ever to respond to our silliness. So then I continue with David Harbour, and at this point I'm kind of upset. So I say, David Harbour, now the truth comes out, buddy. You're off getting ordained to marry people, taking senior pictures with fans, but you don't have 5 minutes for us? You're as fake as all the rest. And to think I liked you on the newsroom. Jeff Daniels carried that show. Because, yeah, he's... Yeah, go ahead.
You should have called him a phony to, strike fear into his heart, thinking you're a fan of Catcher in the Rye. You're a phony.
He famously has responded to some fans on Twitter taking senior photos with one girl and agreeing to get ordained to marry 2 other fans, which is just sad. But anyway, so then I looked at his Twitter and I noticed something. So the next tweet is, upon further investigation, I may have been overly harsh. I see you haven't posted since June 23rd. You are busy, I'm sure. And Elliot was a big part of the newsroom. I'm sure you were a good murderer or whatever on Law and Order too. I don't watch it. And then I said, seriously though, if you get this before 9 p.m. Eastern, we would love to have you on the show. Well, I would. Mike is still indifferent.
Yeah, I am.
And that's how we ended things with David Harbour. So, no responses, and no police at my house yet.
Sounds like another phony to me.
Oh my god, I hate all those phonies. And he went to Dartmouth too, so.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Well, for something like acting, though, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't like fucking engineering or finance.
So now we will move on to our Parents' Guide game. I don't know what to call it. Wasting time. Because they're wasting time, and I guess we're kind of wasting time too. But anyway, so I'll go first. I have 2 pulled up, Mike, if you want to do 2. And then we've got a new special surprise for you listeners out there at the end of this segment.
We do?
Yeah, the thing we talked about.
Oh, yes, that's true. We probably could
So,
have talked about that.
here's your first clue for your first movie. Um, we see a man and a woman kiss/make out on a bed for about 13 seconds. The latter is in her underwear. Parentheses, no nudity.
Super bad.
No, I mean that. I hesitate saying good guess because I don't want to imply that the movie is like Superbad, but that does happen in the movie Superbad. So that's why I think it's a good guess.
Thank you. This one, I noticed whoever wrote it is hilarious. Like, not intentionally, but it's like they seem like the most like sheltered person I've ever heard of.
Okay.
So this is under section nudity. There is really only one bad part, and it's very brief. There is some language too, though, but nothing too bad.
Well, that's quite specific. Um, let's see. One bad part. I will say that it is Mallrats.
It is not Mallrats.
Okay. Second clue. I'm going to read this one, but then I'm also going to read another one because this is kind of not very descriptive of all. But on-screen body count, 24.
Point Break?
No. And then a man punches another man in the face 4 times, leaving him with blood pouring from his nose.
Heat?
No.
Huh. Talk of having sex.
Okay, so they talk about having sex. There's one scene that's kind of bad, and there's some language. Dogma?
No.
Okay. Let's see. Profanity. Constant use of graphic language. The word fuck is said 237 times.
My God. Clerks?
Nope.
This is actually a pretty good clue, I think. So just take that into mind, how much weight I'm putting on this one.
Okay.
This is under alcohol, drugs, and smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Several people drink champagne at a party. Nobody appears drunk. A landlord smokes cigars.
Several people drink champagne at a party, and a landlord smokes cigars. I don't remember a landlord in that movie, so I don't think it's that. I can think of a scene with party, one scene that's bad, talk of sex. I mean, maybe. Oh man, if I knew if that, well, yeah, maybe Ghostbusters.
No.
Damn it.
Guess so.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, this is under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. A needle and a spoon are seen on a table, implying that a man has done heroin. He then keeps on making claims that he is high.
Pulp Fiction?
No.
Huh. I just realized that there's not that many clues on this one.
Okay.
A scene where a man is in a bath with 2 women who have exposed breasts. The nudity is shown for only about 2 seconds.
Private parts?
No. Good guess, though.
Oh, damn it. Men are seen packaging bags of cocaine in a dope house.
Is this Snark?
No. No.
I say we should just make sure there's a rule you can't repeat one because
Yeah.
that's hilarious. But no.
Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to think of mine.
Is it my turn or
Yeah.
approximately 14 uses of the F word?
A man in a bathtub with two topless women. A landlord that's smoking a cigar. Bunch of people drinking champagne. I mean, obviously it's a party. Like it's a New Year's thing or something. Oh man, this is tough. I will say Spider-Man, the first one.
Nope.
Two men get shot in the head with blood mist. Not graphic. I mean, I guess not graphic in a way, because I mean there is just blood mist. It's kind of surprising, and a little graphic, I would think. But that's what they say.
Is this the Departed?
You got it.
Nice. Yeah, that gave it away, even though there was a lot more violence in that.
Oh yeah, those scenes are like pretty shocking when they happen.
I think you're gonna get it from this clue. There is an armed robbery involving a shotgun.
Armed robbery involving a shotgun.
Someone's at home like kick.
Huh?
Somebody's at home just like screaming at their podcast right now.
Right. Okay, an armed robbery with a shotgun. No, that doesn't happen in that movie. People are drinking champagne. Goodfellas?
No.
Damn it. No, that doesn't happen in that movie. So it's not that.
I already gave away the best clues.
Shit. An armed robbery with a shotgun. I'm trying to think of all the movies that have armed robberies in it. Wait, I was thinking of a bank, but you didn't say a bank. So it might just be like robbing someone on the street with a shotgun or no, that doesn't happen in that movie either.
Or in a restaurant.
Is it Pulp Fiction?
No.
Oh wait, no, that scene isn't in Pulp Fiction either. A restaurant where it's not Run Lola Run. A restaurant getting robbed with a shotgun. Why can't I think of this? A restaurant getting robbed.
I'll tell you the name of I'll tell you the name of one of the actors in it.
Okay.
Louis Anderson.
Louis Anderson.
Yeah.
What movies is Louis Anderson in? Holy shit.
Another actor in the movie, Eric LaSalle.
Oh. Coming to America?
Correct.
Yeah. There's that scene with Arsenio Hall and the two women when James Earl Jones comes in. Damn it, I should have got that.
And at the beginning with the Royal Penis Cleaners.
Yep. Oh my god. Good one. Definitely a good one.
Yeah, I thought you would have got that one.
Me too.
Damn it!
Alright. So, now, second round. You can go first this time.
A boy teases a teenager about quote-unquote making it with a girl and her mom.
Well, a girl and her mom.
By the way, I've never seen this, but I'm almost 100% positive you have.
The term "making it" really kind of dates this movie too.
Yeah.
Okay, making it with a girl and her mom. Porky's?
No.
Okay. The first clue on this one is just under sex and nudity is the most generic thing I've ever seen. No nudity. So if I stopped there, it would just be name any movie that has no nudity. But I'll go on to the second one, which says some mildly sexual scenes.
Super bad.
Nope.
A teen boy makes a wish at a wishing well that he will make it with a lead female character.
The Goonies?
Yes.
All right, finally. Okay, so as per our rules, I'll go to one of the more, like explicit ones. Okay, this is the very next one down actually from Sex and Nudity, and this has a character's name in it, so I think it'll help you. Two girl groupies are brought to Lestat. He seduces them, but nothing sexual occurs.
This is unfair. I've barely seen this movie.
I know.
Like, I literally saw the first 5 minutes, Queen of the Damned. I mean, I thought that was a great, clue, the first one anyways.
According to last week, you saw the first 15 minutes of it.
I don't know what it was. It was not a lot at all.
That's why I chose it, but yeah. So, now, how do you want to do this? So, I will tell everyone first, we've come with an addendum to our game here. The last movie, we're going to give you clues, listeners, and the first person to add us at Massive Late Fee or at Massive Late Mike. Is that what it is? Or Late Fee Mike? Yeah, at Late...
Late Fee Mike, I think.
Yeah. So the first person to at Late Fee Mike or at Massive Late Fee with the correct answer will get a shout out, and as we go on, I think we'll give prizes away too. There's some stuff that I'm going to buy that's related to the show pretty soon that we can give out as prizes for this as well. So you'll be the first on the list for a prize if you get this first one. Now, Mike, this is a question for you. Do you want me to tell you what the movie is, and then, and obviously cut that part out, and we can go back and forth and do like 4 clues or something? Or do you want me to just read them, and like next week you can pick one and read it?
Yeah, that sounds better.
Okay. So here is the first movie for our our listener round here. Under violence and gore. Let's see. Okay. Using rifles with scopes, some spectating characters, I'm eliminating their identifying marker, fire upon racers. One racer's vehicle is damaged by a bullet and destabilizes, killing the operator. So that is clue 1. Clue 2. Let's see. Under frightening and intense scenes, the battle near the end of the film is intense, but with minimal to no blood at all. Only several dead bodies are visible. A child, only slightly nervous, is caught up in the violence as well, being fired upon by enemy forces and he fires upon them accordingly. So that's clue 2. Clue 4. There's not a ton. Like, there's under sex and nudity, there's none, and under profanity, there's none. So let's go with violence and gore. A man is stabbed in the middle of his torso. He gasps in pain and falls to the ground, and can be briefly seen having a hole through his back. And then the fourth one. Okay, this one, I think, this one gives a little more nuance to it, because I want people to kind of be able to get it. Not evident, this is under profanity, not evident, but some alien language spoken have the inflection of it once or twice. So we don't know what they're saying, but it has the inflection of maybe profanity a couple times in some alien language. So those are your 4 clues. If you can figure out what movie we're talking about, get to us at Massive Late Fee on Twitter or at Massive Late Mike on Twitter and tell us. And the first one will be first on the list for a prize to be determined. Mike.
He'll be the reigning champ.
Yeah, exactly. So, now, before we get on to our main topic of the night, we have a promo, and this time, I actually did my research, and I know who the promo is for. This is How I Met Your Friends. We've promoted them before, but I love their show. My wife was a big fan of Friends. I always thought it was okay. But I like How I Met Your Mother, and my wife's a big fan of that show as well. So here, without further ado, is a promo for How I Met Your Friends.
Do you watch Friends?
Do you watch How I Met Your Mother? Then you should listen to How I Met Your Friends.
Hi, I'm Kathleen.
And I'm Julie, and we are the ladies behind How I Met Your Friends, the podcast that explores the similarities and theories of Friends and How I Met Your Mother.
Every week, we watch an episode from each show and dive deep into the crossovers and catchphrases. So if you've ever noticed the similarities between these fantastic shows, come check out our podcast.
You can reach us on social media at How I Met Your Friends Pod or email howimetyourfriendspod@gmail.com.
And that was How I Met Your Friends. Take a listen to them. They are fantastic, one of my favorites on the network. But I love all the podcasts on the network equally, just like they were my children, even though that's probably not true. But but How I Met Your Friends is a fantastic podcast. So today we are at the penultimate episode of Good Omens. Things get pretty intense, Mike. Especially right off the bat. What did you think first? What did you think overall of this episode?
I really, really enjoyed this episode. It was my favorite, possibly of the entire series, since I've seen them all, but it was just fun, the whole episode.
Yeah, absolutely. And we get a little glimmer of hope towards the end of the episode. So the episode starts out where Aziraphale is dead, or well, not dead, but he's in heaven, and he's been forced through the gate, and he's talking to some sort of like military sergeant, basically saying, it's time for war and everything. And he says, you were issued, and he thought he was going to say with his sword, and he's like, a flaming sword, I know. I think he says something like she was just having such a bad day or something, talking about Eve. But he corrects him and says, no, you were issued with a body. Where's the body? And he said, I didn't really prepare for this. So the body is dematerialized, or what's he say? Not decomposed, but I can't remember the word they use. But it's gone. It was destroyed in the passage over, and he wants to get back down to Earth because he still wants to try to stop this thing. He doesn't want to fight. He's not a fighter. So he goes to the big, Earth spinning around there and figures out how he can get back, and basically says, because he says, what are you going to do without a body? You can't possess people. And he's like, well, demons can. Why can't, we or whatever? So he goes down to Earth, and he appears to Crowley, and Crowley can see him, obviously, because he's also, a supernatural being. And Crowley's gone to the bookstore and sees it's on fire. He thinks that Aziraphale is dead. It's funny how touching it kind of is, too. Because, he's like, oh, I lost my best friend and everything. And he's clearly upset, and he goes to the bar to drink, and that's where Aziraphale appears to him. And Crowley had happened to pick up the one book that he needs from the bookstore. And he's got all the notes in it as to where Adam is and how to get to him and everything. I thought this was a really, like I said, it's endearing how well it's written in the fact that it's funny, but also kind of like, hits you emotionally too a little bit with the relationship that the two of them have built up. Did you find that too, Mike?
Yeah, it's really well done. Everything that leads up to this episode, it's very well written. I mean, the entire thing. It's not too. It's like the perfect length for a series, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. So Aziraphale tells him what to do, and Crowley gets in his car and starts heading, for Haddonfield so that he can try to forestall the end of days. And Aziraphale goes looking for a body that he can inhabit. Then we go back to Adam, kind of keeping his friends still, in place. He's levitating. His eyes are, creepily like two red stones just burning in his face.
Right.
I'll tell you, I'm sure the budget on this is not huge. Certainly nowhere near what a movie would be or anything like that. But whatever money that they spent on this was spent well. Because even though it's like a simple thing, the special effects, there are a few special effects that are maybe a little wonky, but the special effects when it comes to the demon eyes and stuff like that are outstanding, and they really add something to it, I think. And Adam is just like incredibly creepy and everything, and he makes his friends smile. He's talking about the Four Horsemen. The Four Horsemen are gathering together. This, like, obviously things are really ramping up now, so it's a lot of quick cuts. The pace of the episode is really ramped up, so a lot of things are kind of happening at once. We get the Four Horsemen sort of meeting together at a cafe so they can get on their motorcycles and ride together. We've got Adam, kind of torturing his friends, and then eventually he lets them talk, and he says, I'll give you different parts of the world. I'll give you America. I'll give you Russia and Asia. I'll give you Africa and all this stuff. And they're basically like, we don't want it. We just want to stay here. This is where our family is. This is where our friends are. We don't like you anymore. We don't want to be friends with you anymore. He releases them, I think, kind of realizing that by keeping them captive, they're without a choice to want to be with him and to be friends with him, that it doesn't mean anything to him anymore. So, he kind of releases them, and they start walking away, basically saying, we don't want to play with you anymore, like kids would do. And he, he gets all pissed off. The dog doesn't even want to be with him anymore. The hellhound starts leaving, and that was the biggest surprise to me. I'm like, wow, even the hellhound doesn't want to be around him. But then he sort of cries out to the sky. I feel like, because there's all these voices whispering, basically telling him, you don't need him, you have us, do this, do that, like kind of commanding him from hell. And I feel like his screaming is basically just screaming all the voices away. And then he kind of collapses to the ground. They go to see if he's okay, although they do have a cricket bat just in case. That's raised, ready to strike, and he basically seems to come back to normal, and says, that he apologizes and says that what's going on, and he basically says it's it's the end of the world and only we can stop it. So it seems like Adam's now on board with stopping Armageddon, which gets me to kind of think that maybe it won't end in the end of the world somehow. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, some of my favorite parts of this whole series is just Crowley and his Bentley just completely on fire and just having the time of his life.
Yeah, that's great too, because one of the evil things that he did do is he reconfigured what do they call it, the M24 or something? It's
something like that. It's like a highway that surrounds London.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, with all the things that are accurate in this book and in this movie, I'm gonna guess it is. I don't know the roadway system in London very well.
Right. Yeah, but it's another great joke about, like how like the demons really just like in a lot of ways just provide minor inconveniences like the highway and traffic. That's, I mean, if demons and angels were real, that would certainly be in the purvey of the demons, traffic.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So they like he reconfigures it to be like this ancient evil sigil, and basically saying, everyone that goes on it'll be like slowly tracing this evil sigil. And so when Adam starts coming to power, they all kind of stand up, the people stuck in this traffic jam on this freeway, and they say, the Dark Lord's come, welcome the Dark Lord, or something like that. And it all catches on fire. The whole thing is on fire. And Haddonfield is outside of London, so no one's able to get in or out because the entire roadway's on fire. So that demon that he trapped in the answering machine, he gets out because a telemarketer calls. Which,
right, another demonic
yeah,
realm.
Exactly, which is also funny. So he comes out and he's able to rematerialize, and then he shows up in Crowley's car, which is I think is a funny thing too, because it seems like they can materialize and dematerialize wherever they want to, but they can't get around this fire somehow. I don't know if it's because it's the sigil. That's my guess. Is that it?
Yeah,
the power of it keeps them in.
They don't really go super deep into the mythology, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah. So Crowley basically just says, "Well, we're going. We're going through it," and the other demon he's like, "Oh, we're never gonna make it. We're gonna catch on fire. Don't do this." And everything, and he drives through, and the voice of God, Francis McDormand, basically says that, he has, like, Crowley has something that no other demon has, which is imagination, and he's basically imagining that his Bentley is fine, and that he's fine, and that it's not on fire. So the power of imagination is which I think is kind of endearing and also funny from a writer, that the power of imagination is what powers him through this. But the other demon gets torched, and Crowley just drives up and drives through it, and drives into Haddonfield in this flaming Bentley, which is another thing too, that the effects on that are really good. Like, you can't, they don't look that fake at all.
And he just couldn't be happier in the burning car either, which just makes me crack up the whole time.
Yeah.
So he runs into this nosy neighbor guy, and who is doing his best to not look like put out or perturb that there's a car that's on fire 5 feet away from him.
Right.
And it's kind of funny. They have what he actually wants to say, that kind of scene, cut, that kind of stuff. But basically, he just politely gives Crowley instructions to the Air Force Base.
Yeah, so they're all going to the Air Force Base. The Four Horsemen are going there. Everyone's converging there. Anathema, I can never pronounce that name right, but her and Pulsiver are going there as well, because they, Agnes Nutter's prophecies kind of lead them there. And so they're going there. Adam and those kids are going there. Crowley and Aziraphale are going there. And the Four Horsemen are going there. So Aziraphale, the woman that's sort of the psychic medium in the little apartment where the witchfinder is, the prostitute is, and the psychic or medium or whatever is, she's giving a reading to some people, so she's open to receiving, even though she's clearly a charlatan. But,
so is the prostitute.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so he inhabits her body and is using her body to kind of go there. And so they all meet up there, basically. And, Adam and his friends, go in there. And Adam basically just, makes all the people go to sleep. The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse are going to cause a nuclear, holocaust, basically. And they've hacked into the computer system, and they've got all the nuclear weapons ready to go. They've got, they're all ready, and they're just waiting for, Adam to show up. And the episode ends with Adam showing up and basically just saying to everybody, saying to them, "I'm here." And Death says, he's here now. The apocalypse can begin, kind of thing. And that's it's a very cliffhangery thing. I knew it was going to be like that, and that's kind of where the episode ends. And that's where we'll pick up next week. I assume it'll be kind of like right after that, cause sort of a immediate pickup thing. That's my guess.
Yeah, you're right.
But very exciting episode. Like I said, there's a lot of kind of emotion with the two main characters and everything that kind of go into it. It's fun how Crowley and Aziraphale are still the main characters, and we're definitely the main focus of most of the early episodes. But as it's gone on, obviously Adam's become more important and become a little more central. We get a lot with Pulsifer and Thema. I like kind of how they're still developing all the characters. We even get some development from Death and Famine and Pollution and what's the other one? Death, Famine, Pollution, and...
Oh, jeez. Death, famine, pollution, and war.
Yeah, war. That's right. But we even get a little bit of kind of development from those characters. We see clearly that Death is the leader of the Four Horsemen. We also, I was asking during the episode to my wife. My wife and I were watching it, and I said, do you think they're from hell? Or are they from heaven? Or are they just like independent? Basically, I don't even think I raised the possibility of them being from heaven. I think I said, do you think they're from hell, or do you think they're just completely independent beings that this is just kind of like their job? And they answer that question in the episode. I think it's Death that basically says, we're not heaven or hell, we're in between or whatever. And I thought that was satisfying too. The little attention to details of that stuff, I think, is really good too. I really, really like a lot of Neil Gaiman's writing, and I like this very much.
Yeah, I'm, like I said, I really enjoyed this episode and the ones before it. It's a really good show, and I'm really excited to see, or pretend to see, that I haven't already seen the last episode.
Yeah, exactly. But that is our show for today. Tune in next week for the conclusion of Good Omens. It's definitely going to be exciting, I'm sure. As always, look for us at Massive Late Fee, at Late Fee Mike. You can find us on Facebook, Massive Late Fee, all over the place, Massive Late Fee. And again, decipher those clues, see if you can figure it out, and message us. First person to message us with the right movie, is the winner.
Reigning champion.
Yeah, exactly. But that is all for us. Tell some friends, rate and subscribe, check out Retro Late Fee, do all the stuff that you do to to keep us going. And we will see you next week. Bye.
See you next time.